Hello, fellow Ghanaians. This is Joby FM Radio 1. You're listening to Tutukmini Manche. I want to use this opportunity to encourage all Ghanaians to get out in their numbers to register. Please. Let's get out in our numbers to register. If you don't have the passport, you don't have a Ghana card, you are entitled to go with two people or two persons who have already registered and have the voter's ID card. Now it's our responsibility to look for people who have already registered and have the voter's ID card, so that they can guarantee or they can vouch for us that we are Ghanaians. You see where we've got into? This is where we've got into. Nobody thought, or nobody have ever think that we will get to where we are today. That somebody will say to you that you are not a Ghanaian. And then you will say, I am a Ghanaian. They say, what is your proof? Say, this is my birth certificate. Yes, that is what proves you are a Ghanaian. But today, in Ghana, your birth certificate is not valid as a proof of citizenship. Your voter's ID card is not valid to prove your citizenship. Do you see where this government has taken us to? If you don't have passport, you don't have a Ghana card, then you are not a Ghanaian. I don't want to, this evening I just want to encourage my fellow Ghanaians to go out and register. Whether you belong to MPP, CPP, PPP, DPP, APP, NDC, APC, whatever party you belong to, please go out there and register. Don't sit in your homes saying to yourself, oh, let me wait a little bit, maybe in 2 weeks, then the crowd will die down, then I can be able to get an easy way to get to register. Please don't do that. You don't know what is going to happen. Because if somebody were to tell you 6 months ago, a year ago, that there will come a time in Ghana, your birth certificate will not be valid to give you a proof that you are a citizen of Ghana, we will all be laughing and say you're not serious. But here we are. In every country in the world, the proof of your citizenship is your birth certificate, number one. Number one proof is your birth certificate. But here we are in Ghana. The Supreme Court, the Apex Court, the highest court in Ghana, support EC and support the government to strip us off our birthright. Akufo-Addo government, EC, James Mensah, and Supreme Court connive and strip us off our birthright. You are born, as soon as you are born in Ghana, you are a citizen of Ghana. And the proof is that they give you birth certificate. There's no, hey, I traveled a lot. And the proof that I have is my birth certificate. Nobody asked me of voter's ID. Nobody ask me of your identity card. They ask you your birth certificate. Where are you from? Ghana. Where were you born? Ghana. Where is your proof? Birth certificate. You cannot give any other documentation to anybody outside Ghana to prove that you are a citizen apart from giving them your birth certificate. But here we are today. Supreme Court, EC, and Akufo-Addo government strip us of our citizenship. Now they want us to use passport. The question I keep asking is, before you get a passport, right? The primary document, the primary required document to be able to acquire a passport in Ghana is your birth certificate. If you don't have a birth certificate, you cannot get a passport. But they throw away the birth certificate, they rule out the birth certificate, and they're talking about passport. And the lawyer and people, a lot of people in Ghana running around saying they are lawyers, and nobody could take on EC or government or anybody. No, everybody was quiet about this. It's just like a spell is being cast on Ghanaians. It seems like somebody cast a spell on Ghanaians. No group could demonstrate about this. Nobody make any noise about this. It's just like they cast a spell on Ghanaians. Supreme Court, Akufo-Addo government, and EC strip us of our birthright. The document that prove the citizenship of us being Ghanaians is being stripped off. Our birth certificate is being stripped off. And nobody is saying anything about it. So anytime from now, when you take your birth certificate to somewhere and they tell you it's not valid, what are you going to say? You're going to argue? Or you're going to fight? Or what are you going to do? It's a shame. Where politicians are taking our country into, we need to wake up. We Ghanaians, we need to wake up, especially we the new generation, we need to wake up. Our fathers have failed us. Our grandfathers, great-grandfathers, they did something for us. Kwame Nkrumah and his group, they did something for us. Our grandfathers did something for us, but our fathers failed us. Let's ask our fathers, what at all did they do for us in Ghana? What at all did they do to help us in Ghana? President Kufuor was there for 8 years. Let me start from Jerry John Rawlings, 1992. Sometimes I give President Rawlings a slack because we just came from military rule and they have to stabilize things. And then, so sometimes I give him slack. And I think he did a lot of work too, because a lot of places don't have water. During the PNDC and the NDC one, they got water. A lot of places don't have electricity. I remember when I was a little bit younger in Ho those days, and Sadelmi Kogepi came, and then they did electric projects all the way through the whole Volta region, all the way to the north. That was the Rawlings time. They did water. I remember those days when I was younger. We used to carry bucket. We live in Ho. I used to carry bucket. We live around the stadium, and we used to walk. That's like maybe 5 miles or so. We will have to walk all the way to the water supply center on the hill going to Klepe. We have to go there to get water. I have to go there twice before I go to school in the morning. Not only me, the whole town. The whole town had no water and had no electricity grid. We were using we were using a generator and electricity. So when the generator broke down, that's it. We can stay without light for days. But during President Rawlings' time, they fixed all those stuff. They fixed it. So I'll give him a little slack there. But I'll come on a President Kufuor regime from 2000 to 2008. What did we got? What did we got? Nothing. What development? What development? What credible development did we get in Ghana? that help us to be to develop. What did we get? If I don't, maybe I don't know. You can tell me. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to be hard on anybody, but I'm just trying to open our eyes. 2000 to 2008, what did we get? They tried to set up a, how do you call it, starch factory, cassava starch factory, and then they put Alan Tremanti to head it. That thing collapsed. But today Alan Tremanti is still in government as a trade minister. And the trade minister, here we are, nothing is happening. You see, it's like a spell. A spell is being cast on we, the citizens of Ghana. What is happening in Ghana? And then President Mills came, just brief. At least President Mahama, he did something. At least he built some hospitals. He renovated Rich Hospital. He built a few hospitals. He did extension to Tema Harbor. And I think they did extension also to Takoradi Harbor. Yeah, he tried to do something. He built a Terminal 3 at the airport. He built a Kumasi. They put a runway and a light so that planes can land there in the night. He renovated Tamale Airport too. He did some work. Okay, he did some work. Okay, let me jump quickly. Now, President Akufo-Addo, what have you done? He increased ministers from 80 that President Mahama was using to 122 ministers. A Greek ministry alone have 5 ministers. A minister and a deputy, 4 deputies. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. Nothing. At least President Mahama came to power, there was electricity problem. The electricity problem started from a President Kufuor regime. I think 2007, 2008, thereabout, there was a lot of problem with electricity before President Kufuor exited. And President Mahama and Mills took it over. Mahama took it over, and he brought car power. He tried to solve the problem. He tried his best to solve the problem. I'll give him credit for that. With this COVID thing, that government officials are now, they're in the hospitals. The hospitals, the resting, the Minister of Health said he's just resting. You got COVID, and you are in the hospital. Instead of you to encourage people, you're saying, "Oh, they shouldn't worry. You are just resting." You see how dumb sometimes we are. You see how dumb we are. People like him shouldn't go to parliament anymore. Listen, his area should vote him out. But look, the 40 MPs that NPP delegates voted out was a good thing. But the new guys that won the elections, did they win the election credibly, or they paid more than the MPs? The current MPs. Was it money that they used to get the vote, or what? Those are some of the things that we have to look at. I am praying when President Mahama win the election, there must be serious reforms. There must be serious reform. We have to visit our constitution and make some changes, amendments. We have to make some amendment. If EC can fight to make amendment, right, to CI 91, to get CI 126 to strip Ghanaians off their birthright, then I don't think President Mahama have to win and come and sit there and not do anything about the constitution. A lot of things have to change. Shraj, Yoko, they have to reform. BNI, they have to reform. Police, they have to reform. Military, they have to reform. Immigration, custom, there must be serious reforms. Got to kick some people out and bring people who are ready to work for Ghanaians, bring them in. We don't have to politicize our institutions at all. We don't have to politicize our institutions. I'm talking to few people. We're trying to put some document together to give to President Mahama. That police IGP the term should get 6 years term. If police IGP can get 6 years term, he knows definitely that this president coming cannot fire me because my term is constant. I'm going to be there for 6 years. So I'm going to do my job right. These days, the police IGP is scared because if the presidency says something and they don't obey, they'll sack them. They'll fire them. Akufo-Addo government alone changed. This is the third IGP. Akufo-Addo government. This is the third IGP. I think there was somebody there, Asante Pieto, the man who cocaine turned to Kokonte. He was a CID boss or something. He was in charge of cocaine that was arrested. They impounded cocaine and he was in charge. And then the cocaine turned to Kokonte. And the same man was able to go on the ranking in the police service and became IGP. Are we serious in Ghana? Are we serious? Civilized countries, that man will be sacked from the police as soon as they found out that the cocaine has turned to Kokonte. That man will be sacked. But he wasn't sacked. He was still in the police service and became IGP. The same way Akufo-Addo. The same way Akufo-Addo cornered Ghanaians. That he's a lawyer when he has no documentation, no certificate to prove. He became attorney general. He lost cases. Since he was attorney general, he never won one case, one single case. He never won it as attorney general. He was pushed out from there to foreign affairs. Foreign affairs. We have about 40 people, 40 Ghanaians were killed in Gambia. Akufo-Addo did nothing about it. It was President Mahama who went there as a member of parliament or whatever. He went there to deal with the issue. Akufo-Addo didn't do nothing about it. Somebody like this. Then Ghanaians, we turn around and push him to become a president. Look. If NPP keeps saying that they have the man, what kind of man? Like, look, the whole Ashanti region, okay? The NPP chairman is Wontumi. And NPP is not even ashamed to allow him to come and sit on national TV. It's just sad. It's just sad how our country is being dragged in the mud. Our country is being dragged in the the Korle Lagoon. It's a shame. We just allow some certain people to just assume office in Ghana and use our resources to enrich themselves, and we have to stop that. We the people have to stop that. We the people have the power. We the people have the power. Therefore, we the people have to stand up and say no, and nobody can do nothing about it. We the people have to stand up and say yes, and nobody can do anything about it. I love you. Talk to you. Bye-bye. Love you. Get up and vote.